Atlantis, maybe as the most famous and the most popular place, the lost continent that everyone knows in famous the world is Atlantis. Yes, this was famous, a lost continent. There's a lot of theories about this, but maybe exactly when it's for a lot of years to now, a lot of scientists have a lot of work to do, and now refers as here it is. It's near the land of New Zealand. Yes, it's down the ocean of the Pacific Ocean near the New Zealand. And there's still a lot of new left criticize and skills of these come down. When we go to a news place of taking stuff, it's still making some news versionable. But as people talking about, it still become not really the truth. There's a lot of theories about this, the lost continent in all over the world. Of course, it can be the most famous continent, and this can be really famous because all of the success wave is down the ocean, really deep down. As people just taking weight and measure the kilometers or the things between the Atlantis have been down the ocean to the land. It must be more than 9 kilometers, and there are nothing can go down there with this everything will be destroyed when touching these 9 kilometers down the ocean. Of course, down there's maybe the Atlantis, and now there's a lot of water surrounded in. No one can down there. If you want to come down there and see what is going on, yes, you have to see in a new way. The beach is different than the lake. So you want to swim? Yes, that's not as people thought as every Atlantis. 75% of the earth is water. And down these so deep dives, no equipment and no modern things can go down there. The good voice is good for when talking English, but these things still can't make any reservation of this. Just more than some megabytes, and you can change our world, become new functionable. As especially talking about the kilobytes is so unusual, and making a phone call of where having stuff. As expect, every choice have their new partner. If they look like a kid, they can make a reservation with it. If they use their new strategies of, going to where is go to toilet, it's still you can't have a mind think about it. There's a lot of theories about this, as I told you before. Yes, there's some theories that because that's the legend of the New Zealand. In New Zealand, there's a big folktales and really famous one and legend that is calling this. They're not theories, that's legends. That all of the people on Atlantis is before it's called an island, but it's now a continent. As people in the world, a lot of scientists is looking for this. This must be a continent. But, a continent. As people is looking for, the legend is not. Before, in this island called Atlantis, the Atlantis people usually become very rich. They have a lot of things. Actually, they are really rich, have the rich control, rich of money, rich of a lot of things, the mind and the powerfulness. But they don't know how to stop, and it's not enough. So they go to a lot of another countries, like making war. Yes, they cause a lot of war, and they fight to each other countries to make it become our countries and take a lot of things like gold, diamond, and silver. Soon as as soon as the results, the God, yes, the Jesus, to use just where you go to the jungle and you pick one things is used for jungler in League of Legends. Yes, and you use these on the people at Atlantis. So as people, the Poseidon, as the legend, the Poseidon is the god of the sea, and Zeus is the god of the sky. So as these, the Jesus, there's two legends happen across each other. The first is of the Australia. The Australia told that the Jesus have, like refers and making what it is, I forget. Oh my goodness. A punishment, you know this? Yes, make it punish. They want to punish the Atlantis people and dive it down the ocean, really deep down the way. And this East Island is have to live with the fish down the ocean. And there's another legend that the Zeus down on the sky want to make become these do not any war anymore. So they put them down the ocean and die every just this island down the ocean. So this is two big legends of the New Zealand and the Australia talking about this. The Australian, just like one of the Jesus, and the New Zealand people, just like one of the Zeus. All of these still become just a legend before now. As there's 7 continents in the world, and now all of the scientists with a lot of work, a lot of intelligence, and have a lot of days to adventures experience, and now they can prove that it's a continent which taking out from the Australia and dive down into the sea. Before before it's really big things in the Australia continent, but then it's divided out, and it can be and it's another continent too, really big one, and now dive down into the sea. So, can you explain for me why this happened? Of course, not only the reason of the people is living there. Why this can deep down so high under the sea? When you answer this big question, you still have no time just to dive it down. At night, we will have one more lesson, so let's go. I will using a lot of another things like of legends. Yes, just these the theories of the Atlantis. When the scientists go to prove that, they find a lot of things we can prove that it's a continent. That's before these big things, big continent, out down the ocean. But it still have everything of the continent. That is up the real divided countries, really have divided of people living down, and all of these become known. It's unknown. There are some types of things of the people. Why? Yes, there's some houses as people just near this. Of course, before the Australia have been divided out, there's some pictures of this. It's still of this Atlantis. Why it's called Atlantis? Because it's down the Atlantic. That's just for kidding, but really, that's just the name of a scientist, a really intelligent scientist and famous in all over the world, George William. Yes, rename this. William George. And I guess I forget. William George. This name is the Atlantis. And a lot of people just find out more about this in another deep dive science. Of course, you can go to another place and find out a lot of another things just to showing is all. That's a continent, and that's deep down there. Of course, really now they can prove that it's a continent. So that's a really continent. But why it is down the ocean? Why does it have to dive down? When you answer this question, you can go on a far way of proving another things too. As people know, these things, because of an accident or something like, it can change these things into another. This like dive down into the sea. But not only this can prove all of a lot of another theories become going on. It's like, for example, it's don't have any where the air down the beach is do not enough, or maybe some earthquakes or volcano just make it be down there. Yes, a lot of things happen with causes. The most theories that have become famous and a lot of people agree with this is, the theories of the tsunami. Yes, the very big tsunami before in the earth caused this, and all of this Atlantis continent is dived down. And I've died, yes, died for another continent is alive. No, just for kidding. It's not like people and you can dive down like. Now, it's just 40, 60, no, 67 kilo, 68,000 kilobytes. So, it's so just a little than it's another phone. But really don't care about this. The what does we are caring about is really the different things. You don't nearly do that as as soon as possible. Still the minutes can cause another thing. The clock is not really making choice. Or where it's go the window is just looking for a new camera in where it is taking the chance. The transaction of this still making this become as soon as real and making these things go in looking at the sea. Oh my goodness, the sister. Where do you call the sister? 11 minutes is not everything. 9 minutes more can no cost anything. Maybe it can make the histories or become new famous in all over the world Atlantis. Or where just I'm talking about the crazy things as people in all over the world is talking about. Yes, like Atlantis people. That's do not. Maybe there's two island, really small island just left near this Atlantis island. And it can maybe it's the Atlantis island that still can survive from this. That is Canojos, yes, and Haiyan. Canojos and Haiyan is the two islands of this place. It's all of the Australia. But really don't care about this. You still can make exchange things. As you use your hand to make you become awesome in where it's down. You can take 10 centimeters down of your stomach and you look in the face of the boy. Yes, really making us awesome. You just only use the hand. And when you touch down, just looking in this, you can feel a lot of banana things going deep down and up a new type of vacancies. Escape from it and become reservation of it. Of course, if you turn off and escape from this, that still do not punish you as you go into the real PvP and it's punished. Do not as a lot of people looking inside. They are really don't want to do and usually just making like a reservation and don't cause any such a suspect really powerful thing to stop where it's called the saving center. 12 minutes is not everything, and you can still exchange new valuable. The light is turning off, and everything is turning off, and still this do not happen again. Yes, so this Atlantis island is still a mysterious and curious down the ocean, without no more of the minutes. It can be reduced of the minutes, just 7 more minutes, and you can't make real one. As you look at in these things, when she's told me, I can also do it again, taking down my hand in this and punch. Yes, it can cause another lot of things. And maybe it can be a real reservation if you do it and really making she's become awesome with know the answer of this. Oh, that's not really the big one. Of course, this can be flushed out and that still become bigger and bigger. The new reservations of looking for. Yes, still of the girl. That it's really big and can cause a lot of big different and another things from new types of the world. 6 minutes can cause 2. Yes. So it still become flashman and you can't clean it with your hand. With a lot of things in the Atlantis and the New Zealand is looking for, it still make you become so reservation. Just the 6 minutes and you change it from another way. Of course, as everyone want to see the new types of the world, it still become the unflashment. So diving down countries of the hand, it still must be so flashable when you put it down and the hand is across you. When you stop some things, it's still making there's just more than 5 minutes and it's prepared just 10 seconds to become 5 minutes. So it's still exchange. If you hear to me, the minutes is not everything important, but now it's really important if you just multiply 2. as people just really don't want to thought about it. The minutes is up next. Just can't be through of these disgusting things and just still just can't see these windows because it's too badly just to throw it away. So as the minutes go, there's still the second going up the sky, the highly pressure still making these become a new responsible, and some types of minutes just can cause these become a new highlighted online. As people really want to do it, it's making things become destroyed, and you can learn it from ourselves. Yes, the minute is not every time can cause. Of course, all of the minutes can be through. It's just now become a new type of the world, and you still can't see it as the results. Yes, so where it's called the highlighted online, for the 3 or 4 lessons, it's still making these things become so unchanged. For a lot of time become destroyed. You can still be appeared. As every Atlantis people or New Zealand people or Australia people tell about, the ancient of them usually have connected to another countries that not every country is the world. Because why? These countries before it's called what? They do not know. But of course, it's not all over another countries. Yes, if it's another countries now they can realize. But it's a special type of letters. Yes, a really special. With no language have. So, it can be of the Atlantis. It's become brighter, but it can be Atlantis. Really the truth is, that will not be a soon beer. Only the letters of every country in the world don't have these types of letter. And really that before these type of things never appear in any countries. So, it can be of the Atlantis. Yes, it can be. Australia and the New Zealand old ancient. It can be of the Atlantis people, which is they have to connect and maybe really like that they usually play each other. The brightness things do not cause any damage, but it's still making these things become so unchangeable. The minutes just go away every time just used just more than 2 minutes just to phone. When you phone of that, it can make change. Yes, as the result that you stand and you read the word, it still become no more destroyed. The destroyed everywhere. You can't learn it from ourselves, but you have to read some more things just to improve and prove yourself that it's not only. Now, if you really look like me, you can see another things like 100% of cotton or 25 grams. Or maybe you really can see it's like some months or where the hospital is taking in just because the Atlantis nowhere knows responsible. Just some seconds do not cause any change. But you still use your voice just to talk about one thing, and the minutes is not important. Just wait for where is upon designed, outside the world, going inside, or every another side of part which is falling down of the ocean, the Atlantic Oceans. And now, that's why it's called Atlantis. Before this really typical type of letter is so changed. It's not good as people is looking for. The models or the wireless is never can be found. China still do not have these connectings to, just only Australia and New Zealand. So that's why it still becomes still unchangeable. Just 1 second will cause another term and wait. When you take a piece of word and learn more, you can read a lot of things down there. Maybe it can be from a preservation, or maybe still survive from another type of world, and there are nothing can be shown off. Yes, everything just takes place in this, and some of the words that you can't talk is like 2 brothers, or our son or our grandson. Just still some 5 minutes, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and of course that's still that we have to say in another Atlantis video.